Let's talk about face posture. Um, a lot of us are familiar with the fact that, we all need good posture, right? And we're familiar with what it looks like in the body. So, this is a gross oversimplification, but if you misuse your body, i.e., if you slump around all the time and you spend your whole life like that, then eventually, by the time you become like this older gentleman on the right, and all of those decades have gone by, well, now that man can literally not stand up straight. He cannot. His bones are now fused or shaped like that. Now we can change him, we can make him better. But if we wanted to improve his posture, we would have to address his function. We would have to address his strength. We would have to reteach the muscles and the soft parts of his body to function in a more ideal way so that we can get him back into that ideal posture. Well, that's exactly what we do for the face, right? If you have a really great facial posture, then you'll age very nicely. But if we start with something and you have some hidden bad facial postures, then as all of that time goes by, we start to see a lot of face melting, or we see actual physical changes in jaw shape, in cheekbone shape, even in teeth. There may be a lot of you out there who have had orthodontics, you've had braces, and your teeth have changed over time. That's very common. It's not because your teeth are waking up in the middle of the night and scurrying around. It's because all of the muscles in your face and your tongue and your mouth are causing them very, very slowly to migrate over time. So let's be a little bit more specific. Let's talk about lip posture. Your lips should be closed at rest. If you're just sitting there reading a book, watching TV, your lips should be closed. You should not look like this, right? We don't want that open mouth posture, that mouth breather. If everyone has ever called you a mouth breather, we all know that that's not a compliment, right? Also, another joke I share with my little kids is I tell them, why don't you show me an impression of someone who's dumb? And what do? They go like this, right? Now, we do have a lot of attractive people in the industry that are able to get away with it. And we sort of allow this open mouth posture because we find it a little bit seductive. But that is absolutely still wrong, right? Your mouth is not for breathing, your mouth is for eating. Your nose is for breathing. That's why it's on your face. So I tell all of my kids, why don't you, I'll make a bet with you. Name one animal that breathes out of its mouth. And the answer is, if you want to try in the chat, I'll give you a second. But one animal that breathes out of its mouth. Well, it's a trick question because the answer is zero. None of them. They breathe through their nose or they breathe through their blowhole, right? We all have a separate anatomical structure that causes for airway, right? Even fish, they breathe from their gills. Aha. So here's what you should look like. Your lips should be closed. That lip line where they come together should be perfectly perpendicular and straight across. So you should be like absolutely mathematically pristine and parallel. I'll show you this again for a second. And you will find that obviously, not all of them, but a lot of models and a lot of people that we consider very attractive, they all fall into this really fabulous resting lip posture because that's what keeps our face looking great. Now, we talked about lip posture. That may seem a little bit, obvious to some of us, but I want to talk about something that I'm sure a lot of people have no idea about, which is tongue posture. So we have facial muscles and and lip muscles, but the tongue is an absolute keystone of our entire face and our head. Um, it's also the only muscle in the entire body that's attached on one end, which makes it sort of like its entire own alien. Um, but basically, what your tongue should be doing, this is what Julia sort of gave you like a little teaser about. Your tongue should not be down between your bottom teeth. Your tongue should be at rest up on the entire part of your hard palate. So a lot of people were saying that they have their tongue tip up at their hard palate. That is correct. But you should also have the entire top section of your tongue also against the hard and even back into the soft palate. I want you all to we'll do a little experiment. Just stick your tongue straight out of your mouth. Take a finger, and I want you to poke very lightly on the back of your tongue like this. And then I want you to close your mouth and see if you can get that part of your tongue on the roof of your mouth. Some of us are probably like, struggling right now, if this is really difficult for you to do, I can guarantee that your tongue is not in a good resting posture. So here's a picture of what it looks like from the front, that is this way. You can see that the entire portion of the tongue is up between the upper row of teeth, not sitting like a rug at the bottom of our mouths. And again, the reason this is so important is because if everything is down, right, just if you slump in your chair, if your tongue is slumping in your mouth, then it's not creating that really great, fabulous reinforced structure that we want. And that keeps us in an ideal situation over time.